The psychology of regret, why we dwell on the past and how to let it go. We all have those quiet moments where our minds drift into the past, reliving choices we wish we made differently, words we should have said, or chances we failed to take. This internal replay of what could have been is not just a random mental habit. It's deeply rooted in how our brains are wired. Welcome to the psychology of regret, a powerful emotion that can haunt us or teach us depending on how we handle it. In this article, we'll explore the real reasons why humans dwell on regret, the types of regret we commonly experience, how it affects our mental health, and most importantly, how to break free from its grip. Whether you're looking for emotional clarity or simply trying to stop the cycle of overthinking, this deep dive into regret will help you see it in a whole new light. What is regret and why do we feel it? Regret is a complex emotion that arises when we compare what actually happened with what could have happened, especially when the outcome would have been better had we acted differently. It's our brain's way of learning from past mistakes, but it can also become a mental trap if left unchecked. Psychologists define regret as a form of counterfactual thinking, imagining alternate versions of the past. When these what-if scenarios involve missed opportunities or bad decisions, they generate a painful emotional response that can linger for years. The neuroscience behind regret. Studies using brain imaging have shown that the orbitofrontal cortex, a region responsible for decision-making and emotional processing, lights up during experiences of regret. This part of the brain helps us evaluate consequences and make future choices more wisely. However, when regret becomes chronic, it activates stress pathways in the brain, increasing anxiety and depression. In other words, regret serves a purpose, until it becomes self-destructive. Action versus inaction regret. Which hurts more? One of the most fascinating findings in regret psychology is that people regret inaction far more than action in the long run. While we might cringe at a mistake we made, we tend to forgive ourselves faster for doing something that didn't work out. But not trying? That lingers. Examples include not telling someone how we truly felt, not chasing a dream job or creative passion, not spending enough time with loved ones. The pain of inaction is often deeper because it's tied to a sense of lost identity, a version of ourselves we never allowed to emerge. Cultural and social influences on regret. Our upbringing and cultural environment heavily shape how we process regret. In individualistic societies, like the US or UK, people often feel regret around personal failures or missed ambitions. In collectivist cultures, like Japan or India, regret may center more on how one's actions affected others. Social media also adds fuel to the fire. Seeing curated versions of other people's lives can make us question our own choices, leading to even more regret. How regret affects mental health. While some regret is normal and even helpful for personal growth, excessive rumination can take a serious toll on mental health. Chronic regret is linked to anxiety disorders, depression, low self-esteem, difficulty making future decisions. The cycle becomes self-reinforcing. The more we dwell on the past, the less confidence we have in shaping our future. The role of regret in personal growth. Despite its painful nature, regret isn't all bad. In fact, it can be one of the most effective tools for self-reflection and improvement. When processed correctly, regret helps us understand our values more clearly, learn from our mistakes, make better decisions moving forward. As painful as it can be, regret often shows us what matters most. Common regrets people have. According to psychological research and surveys, here are some of the most common regrets people express. Not pursuing education or a career goal. Staying too long in toxic relationships. Not expressing love or forgiveness. Worrying too much about what others think. Letting fear control decisions. Knowing that you're not alone in your regrets can be both comforting and empowering. How to let go of regret. Psychological strategies. Letting go of regret doesn't mean forgetting the past, it means making peace with it. Here are evidence-based strategies to help you move on. 1. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend. Remind yourself that you made the best choice you could with the information you had at the time. 2. Reframe the narrative. Instead of focusing on the loss, focus on what you gained, wisdom, resilience, or even a redirection toward a better path. 3. Take responsibility, then release. Accept your part in the outcome without letting it define you. Learn from it and then let it go. 4. Journal or talk it out. Writing about your regret or discussing it with a trusted person can help process emotions and release the mental burden. 5. Make amends or take action. If possible, make a small change to address the regret. It could be an apology, a new goal, or simply changing a habit that contributed to the regret. Turning regret into motivation. One powerful way to transform regret is by using it as fuel. Instead of letting it paralyze you, allow it to push you toward the life you want. Ask yourself, what does this regret teach me about what I value? What small step can I take today that aligns with that value? This shift in perspective turns regret from a mental weight into a motivational force. Final thoughts. Regret is a sign you care. Regret shows that you have standards, values, and a desire to do better. It's part of the human experience. But remember, the past is unchangeable while the future is still in your hands. The psychology of regret is not about punishing yourself for what you did or didn't do. It's about understanding why it hurts, what it reveals, and how you can use it to grow. Because the real tragedy isn't in making a mistake. It's in letting that mistake steal your joy from today. So feel the regret, learn from it, and then let it go.